What's up, Outlaws? It's Chris here. I want to start this video off. I want to apologize ahead of time. I uh, I do have a cold. So if you hear me clear my throat or coughing during the video, once again I apologize. Um, Today though, I'm excited to bring you what I hope to be a weekly thing with my weekly pulls from the comic book store. Shout out to Chris over at Top Dog Comics. That's where I go to for all of my comic needs. Pop figures, if I ever collect them. I have one pop figure right there. Ah, and it's my Red Hood. So, um, but mostly my comics. Shout out to Chris at Top Dog Comics on Washington Road in Augusta, Georgia. If you ever are interested in going and checking him out, feel free. Set up your subscription for comics if you're interested, and you won't regret it. Um, so before I get to the pools, I want to update everybody on where I'm at with my next video. So what I'm doing is I have a poll right now on Facebook, and it is to determine which comic book story arc I'll be talking about on the first video. It's a tie between uh, Extermination, which is an X-Men's comic, which, I mean, if you guys didn't know, to me, very, very good story. Um, and Batman Kings of Fear, which is, to me, is also a very good story. So to me, I could do either one. For you guys, which is what I want you guys to help me decide what I'm going to talk about most of the time. So with that being said, right now, Batman Kings of Fear is in the lead. So as we're talking right now, that may be what we're talking about by the end of this week. But don't if you want to see Extermination, don't feel bad. I'll cover it in a future video. The next thing I want to touch on, for those of you that are DC fans or Batman fans or overall comic book fans that love good stories, um, starting in a few weeks, I'll give a definite date here soon. Be on the lookout. Um, every week, I'm going to be covering one issue until we get to Detective Comics 1000. When we get to Detective Comics 1000, which is March 27th, which is the day after my birthday. So if anybody is thinking about a birthday present, there you go. On the 27th, I'll be recording the show for the complete show is going to be Detective Comics. And mostly going over Detective Comics 1000. And there's going to be some extra talking about the history and a lot of the stuff from Detective Comics over the years. So that should be interesting. And I'm actually excited for that one. So with all that said, this is what I know you guys are here for. Feel free to drop me some questions, and I will answer them as I can. And if I don't get to them right away, I will get to them by the end of the video. At the end of this video, I will be posting this on YouTube. So if you did not get a chance to watch this video while it's live, you will always get to see everything that we do on YouTube afterwards. Before we get into the pool list, remember, follow us, like us, follow us on Instagram at Nerd Outlaws. That's nerd_outlaws. Um, Tell your friends, tell your family if they're interested in comics, if they like comics. We're really going to get into some good stuff here soon. And I'm just super excited to be able to bring you guys some content finally. It's been long overdue. And one more shout out real quick. I know I've done it once before, but I want to do it live on Facebook. I want to thank my brother Sheldon Glisson for doing my logos. It's not an easy task to do logos and please the people that you do them for. But I was very pleased. And he'll be happy to know that coming soon, we are working on getting t-shirts. So if you're looking for some swag, be on the lookout for that also. All right. So first off, this has nothing to do with my pools. I know. Um, First off, we have Batman, Kings of Fear, number 5. There is one more. It is a 6-issue miniseries, and the way that the poll is looking right now is what we'll be talking about on my next video, as I've already covered, because I like to talk in circles. Something else that I want to share is I'll be going to SC Comic Con here in March, March 9th and 10th. And it's just been announced that Neil Adams is going to be there. And I'm super excited because I do have a Red Hood variant issue that I am going to be excited to get signed by Neil Adams. And that would be Red Hood and Arsenal number 9. It's a reminiscent of the Neil Adams Batman cover where Bruce Wayne is fighting Ra's al Ghul on the cover, and it's a super cool cover with Red Hood fighting Arsenal. So I definitely look forward to that. So now we're on to the pool list. So we're gonna start out here with a comic. I was upset that I missed the variant for this because he did have a couple at the comic book store. But it's The Batman Who Laughs, number 2. I still like this cover. It's a very awesome cover. This is also a 6-issue miniseries, written by Scott Snyder, and the story is awesome so far. I thoroughly enjoy it. Definitely one of my favorite stories here recently. So can't wait to get into reading this one. The first issue is awesome. The second one, Catwoman number 7. I haven't started reading this yet, and we're 7 issues in. Got a lot of catching up to do on this. So looks good. It really does. The art inside is fantastic. The covers are fantastic. And for me, one of my big selling points when I first started collecting comics was the art. I like to collect the art. So another one I still have to read, which I heard is actually pretty good, is Justice League Dark. And we have Justice League Dark number 7. I've always liked the Justice League Dark series. This one is kind of strange because it's not the normal Justice League Dark. It's not John Constantine and Zatanna and Deadman and all those guys. But I'm going to give it a shot. I'm going to read it. It's on my pool list. It's just something about the dark aspect to it. I mean, it's Swamp Thing and Man-Bat. I mean, how bad could it be, honestly? Now, the next book, if you know me very well or at all, and you know about my comic book obsession, as you can tell from behind me, I'm a Red Hood fan, more like a Red Hood freak, hence why we're Nerd Outlaws, Red Hood and Outlaws. But I digress. Every month when I get my Red Hood comics, I'm lucky enough that Chris can order me both the A and B covers, and it's done very well for me because a couple of those covers have been on the CBSI top 10 list, the Hot 10 list, or whatever it's called. Yeah, so I always have those, and I love the art, and it's just awesome. And I'm enjoying this series so far. Uh, I've been waiting for Red Hood to have a solo series. Um, and while I do prefer the artwork from the previous Red Hood series with Red Hood and the Outlaws, the story is still good, and I do like the new outfit. It's a fresh take on a good character and my favorite character. So this week it's Red Hood and the Outlaws number 30. Um, if you haven't been reading this, I highly suggest reading this. If you're not into comics and you want to get into comics, um, just my personal preference, I would read these. They're super good, and I just take it from me, you'll enjoy it. That's the A cover, and this is the B cover. Um, I love the cover. It's like he's demonic with glowing eyes. Just all around great cover. Um, like I said, the outfit's awesome. I do prefer the old style outfit, but Red Hood's my dude, so I'm going to take him however they give him to me. So yeah. Sticking with our final DC comic here, is actually one of the comics that I'm excited to get to read because once again I'm going to be bringing you guys um, coverage on these for the in the next couple of weeks. So it is Detective Comics number 996. Also would have loved to have the variant cover of this also, but this is a pretty awesome cover too. So I'm going to take a pause real quick and I'm going to tell you guys, and sorry, I almost dropped the book there. I'm going to tell you guys, um, in case you didn't know, there are a multitude of covers, of variant covers for uh, Detective Comics 1000. And when we do our show, I really, really am going to try my best to have one of each of those covers to show you guys. If I don't for some reason, I will make sure that in a future video, I do show off all the covers. Like honestly, I don't know how many covers there are in total. I would have to look. There's a lot. There's one for every decade of Batman. So yeah, it's gonna be enjoyable. Last but not least, it's a variant cover. I really like the cover. One because it's got two of my favorite X-Men on the cover, and that's Nightcrawler and Beast. Um, this series has been great. If you're not into Marvel and you're a DC fan, trust me on this. That Uncanny X-Men number 10, Uncanny X-Men all around has just been an awesome series. Um, I mean this I can't say any better things about this book. I'm not I wasn't too much of a Marvel comic book fan. I love the movies and the Netflix shows and those kinds of things, but I never was a comic book fan. I don't know why. I just preferred DC over Marvel. But when I started reading Extermination, I really started getting into Marvel comics and X-Men. So Uncanny came out, and it took me a couple of weeks, but I finally decided to crack it open and read it. And once I read it, I was hooked. So if you're really, if you're a comic book fan and you want to branch out from from other publishers, whether it be Dynamite or Dark Horse or Image or DC, uh, and you want to branch out and go to Marvel and read some Marvel stuff, Uncanny X-Men is the way to go. I'm just gonna be 100% honest with you. I'm sure there are some better ones out there that I haven't read yet, but as far as I'm concerned, Uncanny X-Men is the way to go. Yeah, that's my pool list this week, guys. It's not a lot. Some weeks there's going to be more. Some weeks there's probably going to be fewer. It just depends on what comes out that week and what I have on my list. Um, so yeah, I don't see any questions. Uh, yeah, like I said, guys, follow us here on Facebook, right here on Facebook. Follow us on Instagram. We will follow you back. And just when you do that, you're going to stay up to date on everything. You can also find us on YouTube. This video will be on YouTube by the end of the night. And yeah, follow us, like us, subscribe to us. Um, and I look forward to bringing you guys some more content in a couple of days, a couple of weeks. Um, yeah, peace out, outlaws.